What's happening, everybody? Welcome in. I'm Brian Edwards. He's Jay Greeson. This is our video preview and for the predictions on Kent State at Oklahoma. This is Southeastern 16. We are brought to you by FanDuel. And before we get going, let's tell you about our good friends at GameTime. SIDEKICKS, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities. Everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, and 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups. SE16 for the 20% discount to viewers. Okay, Oklahoma at FanDuel, currently as of mid-Monday afternoon, a 45.5-point favorite, a 53.5-point total. For first quarter bets, Oklahoma is minus 11.5 for the first half. They are 26.5-point favorites, but with a minus 134 price attached to that. Their team total for the first half is 27.5, but a minus 168 number on if you want the over on that. And I will get the team total for the game here in a minute. What's happening, Jay?
Not much, my man. How are you?
I am good. Oklahoma, obviously the Mateer news last week, which was a bummer, but they do have a backup in Michael Hawkins, who elected to stay around knowing he was going to be the backup when he probably could have been a starter at a lot of other schools. Last year, he started 4 games. He played more than that, though. He completed 76 of 120 throws, 63.3%, 783 yards, 3-2 TDI&T ratio, but he's got wheels, 204 rushing yards and 1 touchdown as well. And he's only played in 1 game this year. It was a garbage time against Temple. Not much stats to speak of. Kent State 1-3 straight up, 1-2-1 ATS. They beat Merrimack, an FCS opponent, 21-17, but they lost to Texas Tech 62-14. Lost to Buffalo. Actually had a lead for a good bit of that game. Lost 31-28, but covered as a God, if I'm reading my handwriting correctly, 24-point home underdog. Yeah, and then they lost 66-10 at FSU. Both teams have had 2 weeks to prepare.
Well, look, I think Hawkins is good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a big-time recruit. His dad played at Oklahoma, which explains even more of the loyalty
Right.
about sticking around when the portal guys come through. And, I mean, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. If Kent State's not the worst FBS team, they are assuredly in the team picture.
Yes.
Because the numbers I saw on Kent State, they are in the all-important stat of yards per game. And remember, there are 136 FBS teams. They are 124 in offense and 136 in yards allowed per game.
They went 0-12 straight up last year, 2-9-1 against the spread. In 2023, they went 1-11 straight up and 3-8-1 against the spread. But their lone win in 2023 was Central Connecticut State. The lone win this year is Merrimack. So they have not beaten an FBS foe since overtime win at Buffalo in the 2022 regular season finale. And so Kent State, not very good. Not very good. Not very good. That team total, by the way, for Oklahoma is 49.5, shaded to the under, minus 125. But look, keep in mind, Texas is – Oklahoma has Texas next. So they're going to want to get their starters out of the game as quickly as possible and rest up and be healthy for Red River next week. As a home
Hey,
favorite.
can I blow back a little bit on that?
Yeah.
Especially for people who
Hawkins.
want to bet on Oklahoma before halftime. They're not going to let completely off the gas because this is the first reps, and there's a very real chance that Hawkins is going to be the guy at QB1 in an all-important rivalry game next 13 days from now in Dallas. So, I mean, making certain he gets some game reps against people who don't know what's coming, especially throwing the football. I mean, look, I will be on Oklahoma in just about every way imaginable in the first half. I think this is a spot to get Hawkins some confidence, find out the 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 plays that he really clicks with, and gives you a better idea how to kind of script and game plan for Red River.
Yeah. I guess more probably on the defensive side of the ball, they'll be trying to get guys out of there just to make sure that they are healthy for next week. Yeah. So, yeah, Hawkins definitely, you want to get him some reps, and you don't want him to be getting reps with the third string O lineman either. So, yeah, I'm glad you pushed back on that. It's more probably a defensive thing. And, they want style points because this is a team that very well could end up 9-3 and to go to the CFP, and they're, but with their schedule difficulty, there's a real chance of that.
There is a real chance of that. And you're right. You don't want to look, man, the mid to late November politicking from these coaches who are trying to angle their team. You sleepwalk through a 31-8 game against Kent State, and that would hurt your playoff chances more than going and losing to Texas with a backup quarterback. Because in some ways, if Mateer, and there's talk that maybe he's ready, maybe he's not. I don't see it, Brian. I don't see how you have hand surgery on your throwing hand and you're back in 3 weeks. I mean, maybe. And look, I'm not a doctor, and I didn't stay at the Holiday Inn Express last night, but I think Hawkins is going to have to be the guy if they're going to wade through the Red River. I think he's going to have to be the guy, which tells me they're going to be a little more invested in the first 2 quarters than normal. It's like a third preseason game for some of these NFL teams. You know it?
Yep.
And style points are going to matter moving forward.
Yep. I'm not looking at the box score right now, but I feel like the first scores I saw of Kent State at FSU 2 weeks ago were like 35-0 late first quarter. So, and I'll also point out against 7th-ranked Tennessee last year as a 49.5 point underdog, they lost 71 bagel to the Vols. Against 10th-ranked Penn State as a 48.5 point underdog, they lost 56 zip to Penn State.
Well, and we talked about the first half inequity and whatever else. You and I live in this realm, but FanDuel is offering almost plus 160 odds for bettors to take Kent State over half a point in the first half.
And I'm looking at their team total for the game is 2.5. You got to pay minus 174 for the over, plus 130 for those thinking it's going to be a bagel or just a safety.
Well, here, because I would honestly, I think this is going to be a runaway, especially early. The only thing that would entice me to even have a conversation about Kent State scoring in the first half is, does Michael Hawkins have a little jitters?
Right.
Does
a turnover that gives
a turnover that just allows them a field goal?
Right. Yeah. All right, let's get into our predictions. I'll go first. I like the minus 11.5 OU in the first quarter and minus 26.5 in the first half, and Oklahoma wins in a landslide.
I like both of those. I'm not going to lay the monster weight because there's style points. And if they get up 35-0 and then win this 42-0 because they're playing every booster's kid in the second half with a running clock, and hell, the Kent State coach may come over at halftime and say, "Hey,
Running
why don't
clock.
we show? Yeah, let's just. Hey, man, in Tennessee high school football, and I cover high school football on Friday nights. Whoever came up with this running clock idea, that person deserves like a Nobel Peace Prize because it is wonderful. When it's 44-0 and both sides are playing a whole bunch of really bad kids, the last thing I want to see is a stop clock, and we're talking about every offsides and false start.
Absolutely. All right, let's tell you about our good friends at HOF app. Smart bettors rely on data. HOF hands you powerful analytics at your fingertips to tilt the odds in your favor, improve your chances of winning using historical data, matchup grades, trends, and player performance insights. HOF was created by Ivy League sports geeks to let everyday fans bet smarter. For limited time only, our listeners not only get a 7-day free trial, but they also get 50% off their first month when they use code SE16 at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS or Android, enter code SE16, and you're all set. Let's also tell you about our good friends at ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. September is the busiest month of the year with the new iPhone release. So SEC 25 for 25% off. And finally, our good buddies at HOVI Dry Goods, your new favorite hat. Look no further than HOVI hats for high quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad beat for 15% off. All righty. For Jay Greeson, I am Brian Edwards. This is Southeastern 16. We are brought to you by FanDuel. Enjoy the Sooners and the Golden Flashes, and we are out of here.